What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Culture Godz channel. I'm your herald, Mike Nix. If you don't know what a herald is, look it up. Yeah, man, thanks for pulling up with me again. Just got done watching Agatha All Along, episode 1 and 2. By the time this drops, episode 3 probably would have aired, and then I'll give y'all my review on that episode. I might go episode for episode. Anyway, so far, I really like it. Basically, backstory with Agatha, if you don't know, if you haven't watched WandaVision, which is, to me, the greatest Marvel series since Daredevil, to be honest with you. And Daredevil was on Netflix. You know, Agatha All Along was on Disney Plus, and we all know how Disney gets down. It's not Netflix. They're not gonna let you just do what you want, and blood and fucking and shit like that. But it was dope. So Agatha appears in Wanda's story, and now at the very end of WandaVision, Wanda puts a spell on her. So she puts a spell on her similar to the spell that she was under, where basically she's trapped in her own mind and she can't harm anybody and she can't escape it. So she's basically stuck in this TV realm. It's like if you ever watch Jujutsu Kaisen, it's like Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm sorry. Am I saying that right? Yeah. If you ever watched it, basically, it's what do they call it? I think it's domain expansion is what they call it. It's called a domain expansion. It's similar to that. It's like she's in her own domain inside of her head, but it's real, but it's not. Anyway, the first episode, she is trying to, it basically places her back in this TV domain expansion, basically inside her head, where she thinks she's in like a true detective. I think it's Mayor of Easttown is what I think the name of the show is, type of show where she's trying to solve a crime. And you know, everything from the intro to the cinematic look of the show and everything just gives you those vibes, you know. And so she's trying to solve this crime, and basically the body is Wanda. You know, we can kind of figure that out because the body, she's dressed in the same shit that she was wearing at the end of the Doctor Strange movie, the last Doctor Strange movie, where basically she dies, she sacrifices herself, but she dies, and she brings the entire ruins and shit down on top of her, the statue and all that. And so actually she's not wearing that same outfit when she dies, but I think in that movie she's wearing a similar outfit. So Agatha's she's a detective trying to solve the crime. In the meantime, she's the spell that's over her, it's starting to kind of break free a little bit, you know, because Wanda is dead. So as she goes along through the episode, she runs into her ex-girlfriend. I'm trying to see what the girl's name is. I remembered it and then I forgot it. It was Rio Vidal is her name. Now, her ex-girlfriend's name and that character, Rio Vidal, is a character that you really got to be like super into the comics growing up to know who the hell she is. I've been disconnected from that for a while, or from the comics world or the comic book world, so I don't really know. But Agatha eventually, she breaks free from the spell. She runs into a boy who's a teenager, but he can't say his name. So everybody's trying to figure out what his real name is. He can't even talk about his background and who he is. Whenever he tries to say it, it blurs out, so you can't hear his name. You know, kind of like, I'm trying to think of what movie that was. But anyway, so she runs into this kid, and it kind of gives me the vibes of this first episode of The Penguin. You know, where the Penguin is the main character, and he's down on his luck, trying to come up, and he runs into this teenage kid. Except the difference is, this kid is eager to be by her side. She's like a total bitch, of course, but she realizes that he's there to help her. So I think she was interrogating him, and then he said a spell. It kind of helped release the spell that she had on her, and so they begin their little partnership or whatever it is. So now he's her little sidekick. And then she goes around trying to find the other girls from the coven, the other witches for a coven, basically, so she can go down the witches' road. and she's trying to gain her powers back, basically. So that's what happens in episode 2. She gathers all of the witches from the coven that's on this list that was given to her by another witch to try to put together the coven to go down Witch's Road and help her do whatever they're about to do when she gets to the end of Witch's Road. I'm not going to give too much away. I know there's a lot of vague spoilers and everything. There's a lot of really dope channels that you can check out that give way more details than I could ever give you. But the editing for the video, the way I would want to do it with all the visuals and everything would just take way too much time. But definitely check out Screen Crush for sure. They got everything from A to Z from the first 2 episodes. I pretty much just kind of went off of memory and some of the reviews that I've seen, or the reactions that I've seen on YouTube. But first 2 episodes pretty dope. Like I said, this is a real channel, man. I'm just gonna give you the real, keep it simple for y'all. As we go along, maybe the editing will be a little bit more extravagant, but right now, we're keeping the shit cool and on light work. I'll be back in the next episode. See you in a minute.